Hi y'all, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Melody, and on this channel I discuss fragrances every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So if that's something that you're interested in, please subscribe down below. Today I want to share with you my Scentbird subscription for the month. So if that interests you, please keep watching. Hi, editing Melody here. So I'm not sure if the quality is any different on here. I'm filming with my phone instead of my camera, but I just wanted to pop in here and ask that for anyone who prays, if they would pray for my middle daughter Ellie. She is going in tomorrow for non-invasive procedure. She has been struggling with an arrhythmia for the last month or so, and so the doctors want to go in and get her heart back in the proper rhythm and get her on some different medication to help with that. So while it's not as intensive as some of her other procedures or surgery she's had, it's always hard having to take her to the hospital, and it's hard for her sisters at home. So she'll be in the hospital anywhere between 4 days and about 2 weeks, they said. So on top of the fact that we are now in the process of moving, we haven't nailed down a spot yet, but we just toured a place and we're putting in an application. So I'm in the process of packing a bunch of things, and two of our daughters just started soccer. So we've just got a little bit more on our plate than we did a little bit ago. So I'm still trying to get 3 videos out each week. I have some stuff scheduled and I'm pre-filming, so you'll see a lot of the same outfits and stuff. But I just wanted to pop in here before the video and just ask that if you pray, that I would ask if you would keep Ellie in your prayers. Thank you. Bye. So I just want to start off by thanking everybody who has subscribed. I am so happy that you keep coming back and watching my videos. I've been having a really great time making these videos and testing out different fragrances. It was something that I wasn't really passionate about last year, but over the course of the last 6, 7, 8 months, I've really fallen in love with fragrance, and I've loved testing out all these fragrances and giving you my first impressions and everything. With that said, I want to let everyone know that I have a Buy Me a Coffee page, so if you wanted to donate a little money so that I can just keep making these videos and purchasing perfumes, it's a really expensive hobby, but if you don't want to, that's totally fine. I completely get it. I just want to let people know that will be down in the description bar down below. On to the fragrances. So I'll actually start by discussing why I switched from Scentbox to Scentbird. So I had Scentbox for about 3 or 4 months, I actually can't recall, but on 2 separate occasions I had billing issues where on my side it was perfectly fine and Scentbox took the money out of my account and then they told me that the billing didn't go through, and so 2 separate times I had to contact them and get that resolved. And on the 3rd time I was just getting really fed up. I put a hold on the account and then they resolved the issue. They sent me the fragrances, and so I was able to do a review on those set of fragrances, and I didn't mention it then that I had any issues. But when I went about trying to get the hold off of my account, I had several issues, and I just had to go back and forth with them. I think I have like 8 or 9 emails, and it's just really frustrating when you just want a simple subscription where you're getting small decants of fragrances. You don't really want to be constantly going back and forth with customer service over something so silly as that. So I just canceled my account and I switched over to Scentbird. Now I can't recall the price differences, but I had the 2 fragrance with Scentbox, and I switched and I did the 3 with Scentbird, and I think the prices are actually comparable there between the 2 and the 3. So this time I have 3 fragrances. Now I don't recall exactly why I went with Scentbox. I think they just had fragrances that I was more interested in at the time, but it really wasn't worth the hassle. And there's still a lot of really great fragrances on Scentbird, and it's my first month and I really don't have many complaints. However, I do want to mention that My one complaint is that it only comes with one actual atomizer. Now, it's a really nice atomizer. I would say this is probably the best quality one that I've seen, but it has one atomizer for the fragrance, and then the other two come in these little cardboard containers. And that's okay. And in fact, you can spray them without the little atomizer thing. You can just do that. And and so it doesn't really matter to me. And they also fit in like a typical little atomizer that you can find on Amazon. So if I really wanted to, I could go about doing that. Now, the other issue is that the fragrance name is on the actual glass portion. So if you have it in the atomizer, you really don't know what you're spraying unless you like pull it out. It's a mild inconvenience, but one that like I didn't have an issue with Scentbox. It was on the bottom of the atomizer, and you got a new atomizer every time. Now, I don't know if this will be the only atomizer that I get, and that each one will now just come in the little tubes. I don't really mind because it's really a great deal for 3 different fragrances. But that is something I just wanted to mention for anyone looking into Scentbird over Scentbox or Royalty Scents. That's one that I'm interested in, but I really haven't gone that into niche fragrances yet, so I kind of wanted to stick with Scentbird for a while and then maybe switch over to Royalty Scents once I've kind of gone through the selection that Scentbird had. So I got 3 fragrances, and I think one is a hit. One is nice. I wouldn't call it a miss, but one was a miss. So I think I will start with the one that I was a little on the fence with. One thing I forgot to mention is that you get a little paper with the fragrance on it, as well as a description and some notes, which is actually really nice. Scentbox never did that. They had a paper that showed fragrances of that month, but it wasn't necessarily the fragrance you had. So the first fragrance I tried was Fall Cashmere by Skylar. I believe this is a newer fragrance of theirs. It came out in 2021. So on here it says, it smells like the finest sweater feels, a spicy, sensual experience akin to the elevated comfort of a timeless textile. Enjoy the magic of autumn anytime you crave. And on here it lists roasted almond, cinnamon bark, and spiced ginger. Now on Fragrantica, it says that the main accords are warm, spicy, powdery, woody, vanilla, cinnamon, amber, musky, and almond. The top notes are ginger and almond, middle notes of cinnamon, clove, matcha tea, base notes of sandalwood, vanilla, white musk, and amber. So what I'm first getting from this fragrance is the first time I smelled it, it reminded me exactly of the dry down of Kayali's Invite Only Amber 23, I think is the number. Sorry, I hardly remember the numbers of those, but that's what I'm getting. They share quite a few of the same fragrance notes. They both have cinnamon, amber, vanilla, and sandalwood in them, and this is quite heavy on the cinnamon. So as it dries down, I pick up more of the sandalwood, and if I put my hand like really close to my nose, I can kind of pick up the almond, but it is very faint. I never got any of the ginger. I really only got those middle notes. It is just a very heavy cinnamon scent. I don't get much of the amber. Maybe a little bit of that combination that makes it smell like the dry down of Invite Only. But the part that makes me love Invite Only so much is that cherry opening, and this one doesn't have that at all. I also agree with all the people on Fragrantica that this would make a beautiful candle, but it's not necessarily something that I want on my skin. It is nice, but the projection is really, really poor, and the longevity is very poor as well. It's a skin scent by an hour. So is it worth it? I think these are like $85 a bottle. So for me, it's definitely not worth it. If Skylar came out with a candle in this fragrance, I'd probably pick it up. It is a really beautiful scent for a candle. Fall Cashmere is like that perfect name for it. It definitely smells like fall time in a bottle, but it's a bottle that I wouldn't want to wear. So the next one I actually really loved, and it's also by Skylar. It is Vanilla Sky. So here on the card it says, the comforting feeling of cozying up with a good book comes in a central gourmand scent. Go through the whole day as if you just walked out of your favorite cafe. So it says cappuccino, pure vanilla, and caramelized cedar. So here on Fragrantica, it says the main accords are vanilla, coffee, caramel, sweet, powdery, woody, warm, spicy, cinnamon, balsamic, and lactonic. The top notes are cappuccino, sweet orange, and bergamot. Middle notes of vanilla, cinnamon, and Spanish jasmine. Base notes of caramel, sandalwood, amber, and cedar. So this fragrance is very gourmand. In the very beginning, it is a very comforting, very sweet, creamy, lactonic coffee, cappuccino, if you will. There is that citrus that's really nice in it. It kind of brightens it up, and it is just very, almost toothachingly sweet. However, the jasmine in this, it keeps it from being like so gourmand that it doesn't really feel like a fragrance. For instance, I love Italica, but to me that is on the like edge of just being like not a perfume at all. It kind of just feels like you spilled food on yourself. But for me, this one, the jasmine, keeps it grounded in a way that makes it feel like it's a fragrance and not just a coffee that you spilled all over yourself. It had a really nice, comforting scent bubble where you get some of the caramel and the vanilla and the coffee. And it was really beautiful. Unfortunately, it doesn't last very long, but the scent is really beautiful, and this is what I was looking for in a coffee scent. I would say to my nose, it is quite similar to The Only One by Dolce & Gabbana, but that one has a lot more orange blossom in it, and it is quite a bit more floral and very much a perfume. This one has like that subtleness of the jasmine that keeps it smelling like a perfume, but it is definitely more heavy on that coffee note. So if I just want like a really rich, decadent coffee, I would go for this one. In fact, in a previous video, I was mentioning how I wore black opium, and I was really wishing that it just stayed that kind of like almost sickeningly sweet coffee that you get at the beginning, that like synthetic. I don't really know how to describe it. I have problems with black opium, but I really like that almost like too heavy, cloying coffee smell, but it goes through this like white florals that I don't really care for in that fragrance because it's like a Frankenstein of a fragrance to my nose. I don't get it. But this, it has that coffee scent that I really wanted. I wouldn't say that this is cloying in any way, and that's not really what I'm wanting, but I just want that rich, sweet, decadent coffee, that cappuccino, some days. And so I definitely am interested in picking up this fragrance. I really do think it's a beautiful one. Lastly, we have Amber by Rag and Bone. So this is what the bottle looks like. I have not heard of this fragrance at all, but I wanted to try it out. So it says seductive amber and oud with a hint of spicy vanilla and aged liquor. So in the notes, there's tobacco, saffron, liquid amber, and vanilla. On Fragrantica, they say the main accords are amber, sweet, vanilla, woody, rum, warm, spicy, fruity, and tobacco. The top notes are rum, saffron, and bergamot. Middle notes of cognac, plum, agarwood, vanilla, liquid amber, and tobacco. So unfortunately, to my nose, this came off super medicinal. Yeah, it's just this very menthol-y kind of thick medicinal scent. I'm not sure what that is. I'm thinking it might be from the saffron because I know a lot of people mention that Baccarat Rouge smells medicinal to them, and I know that has saffron in it. It is very strong. If you're interested in something like that that's very boozy, has that tobacco and the saffron, and maybe to your nose it doesn't come off medicinal. So if you want something strong like that, by all means, I would recommend it. However, to my nose, it has this very sickly sweet, but also like minty and also like very medicinal. It was just a strange combination to my nose that I really didn't like. In fact, I got so cloying and nauseating that I had to like rush to take a shower. I like really tried to stick it out for about an hour, but it is a heavy fragrance, and I didn't spray very much. I think I sprayed like one on each wrist and the top of my hands, and it was just too much. I can smell the different notes. I definitely get a lot of tobacco in it, but the combination of all of these these notes just made it something that like I really couldn't stand. So for me, I wouldn't recommend it. However, these are a lot of very popular notes that a lot of people like. So if you have a scent or if you can get a sample, I would definitely recommend it. I don't think this is a blind buy worthy fragrance whatsoever, but I'm sure there are a lot of people who do like this. Unfortunately, it was not for me. So that was my review of Scentbird. This was my first month with Scentbird. I'll be coming out with another Scentbird video every month going forward. I really hope you've enjoyed my thoughts and opinions on the fragrance. If you have any thoughts or have smelled any of these fragrances yourself, I would love it if you drop some comments below. If you're enjoying my videos, I would really love it if you would subscribe. And for all of you who have subscribed already, I am so grateful. If you would like to help support me any further, buy me a coffee is down in links below. I am having such a blast trying out all of these fragrances and giving you my reviews and recording it. It feels like you guys are my friends and I can just sit down and chat with you guys. So I really appreciate all of the support you've given me, and I hope you come back and stick around. I hope you have a blessed day. Bye.